Hello.
Hello, and welcome.
Welcome again.
To Double Feature.
Double Feature.
The show where we watch two movies, and we talk about them. Yep, and we compare them, whether it's trope, genre, of, like, similarities, differences.
I'm trying to make sure you can see both the challengers posters.
Yeah, challengers and challengers.
Challengers.
We love challenges in this house.
We love... we saw it literally yesterday.
Highly recommend. Everyone should go see it. Yeah, so I'm Renee.
I'm Erin.
And today we are talking about,
we can't do it. Let's end the episode right now. This is a bad idea.
Everyone go home. End of the episode.
Bye!
Bye!
Oh, God.
Yeah, today we're talking about Black Swan and Leap. Or Leap, aka Ballerina. That movie has two names.
Both of them are stupid.
Yeah. So, in comparing these two movies, we want to talk about dance and music.
And arts.
Arts to frame a story and to, act as a story device. Mm-hmm. And then sort of the arc of the obsessed artist. Mm-hmm. As well as genre in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
God.
Where to begin with this comparison?
Begin?
They're both movies about ballet. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm. They're both movies. The top review on Letterboxd for Ballerina says that they don't like Black Swan.
It's Black Swan 2010 who? Black Swan 2010 who? Yeah. So, shout out to that person.
Shout out to whoever the freak that person is. Why are we here?
Okay, so let's state the obvious. Black Swan is
a masterpiece.
A psychological thriller.
Oh.
Yes.
Also that.
Yes. No lies were said. So it's a psychological thriller about an obsessed ballerina, as she takes on the lead role in The Swan Lake.
Mm-hmm. And Leap, which I will not explain the plot for because I'm assuming that absolutely no one out there has watched it.
Yeah, all our listeners out there have probably not seen this movie. If you want to go see it. We can't tell you what to do.
It's for free on Tubi.
It's for free on Tubi. So if you are interested in historical ballet where someone wears jean shorts, and
the Statue of Liberty, which is still being built, is green. So the plot of Leap. I'm gonna get through it. The plot of Leap is that two orphans. They're
very Anastasia and Dimitri coded.
Felice and Victor.
They want to go to Paris and escape their orphanage because he wants to be an inventor and she wants to be a ballerina.
Yes.
They go and they're constantly separated. They do end up getting into both of their fields and their friendship is sort of tested and it all comes together when...
Victor's plotline is entirely useless.
Except for the Statue of Liberty being the scene of the final act. The girl, Felice, pretends to be another girl, a rich girl. Camille. Is it Camille or Camille? I don't know.
Camille. And...
Camille de Haute.
Yes, to get into this ballet school, and then the girl finds out, and they're like, well, now let's have a dance-off. And then they play Demi Lovato's Confident.
Yeah, and they're, like, aggressively, like with their... Yeah, they're doing the point thing.
What?
That's what it's called. Yeah, they're like on their toes, like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like they don't walk anywhere. They just go...
I was in ballet. I was a ballerina for a long time.
You were a ballerina?
Yeah, I did ballet until high school.
How do I not know this about you?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't know either. I knew you were a choir person, but I didn't know about ballet.
I was a choir person, yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I did ballet. I was on point. I know what I'm talking about.
Do it right now.
Go get on my toes.
Get on your toes right now.
Okay. Anyways.
So, Yes,
So that is basically they're competing for the role of Clara and the Nutcracker.
Yes.
Um,
And that brings us to our first comparison of something I said while we were watching the movie, because there's a point where Camille, like, wins the part, and they're, like, rehearsing for the show, and he's like, "You're so cold, you have no passion," and she's like, "But I'm doing all the steps perfectly," and so that led me to the conclusion that Camille is the white swan, and, Felicie is the black swan.
Yes.
From that comparison of Black Swan.
And so Nina would be the white swan and Lily is the black swan.
Yes.
Yeah, the duality of womanhood, I guess.
Yes, but then Nina becomes the black swan when she kills Did we say spoilers? You should know this by now. When she kills Lily, becomes the black swan.
She kills the white swan version of herself.
Yes.
And so, really, she was the black swan the whole time.
Whoa! Does that mean that Camille is gonna kill Felicie?
I believe it. I believe it.
I also believe it.
We said she was very Pacifica from
Gravity
Falls Coded.
Yeah. She has this arc where she, like, starts as a bully and, like, throws her special music box, and then, like, afterwards she's like, well, she has passion, so she should do the dance. I'm your friend now. And then her mom's like, nah!
Yeah, literally. That is accurate to the plot. I can confirm. Yeah.
And Camille's like, what the frick?
I'm a child!
I'm a child!
You're a grown woman!
You're trying to push a child up the Statue of Liberty! They're playing the Star Spangled Banner. What is this movie?
For context, we just finished this movie, so I think it's like...
It's really hitting us.
Yeah.
That's just how bad this movie is.
And also...
Yes?
The subtitles were
So, I can't be 100% certain based on our research.
Yeah, it's a French-Canadian movie.
Yeah, but I'm fairly certain that it was... I got there eventually. I'm fairly certain that it was originally done in French and then dubbed over to English. And I realized this because, like, I watch a lot of anime, and sometimes I watch it dubbed. Sometimes I also watch it subbed for the people who are gonna fight me for that. But
What's she gonna do?
What is she gonna do? I noticed that the lips were slightly off on some points, like they are for dub. And then I noticed that the subtitles would say slightly different things than they were speaking, which is another signal that it's dubbed over. And then the subtitles would say completely different things.
And, like, give completely different context
Yeah.
and, like, character insight. And, like, because the lips wouldn't be moving at all. So it's, like, where did that come from?
There were points where, like... the subtitles would say something that's, like, makes sense in the context of the film and, like, should be there, but then the characters wouldn't actually say it, and I would get confused and think they said it.
Like, it was like the person writing the subtitles had the script, but, like, the animators didn't
have the script.
Didn't use, like, took out some of the lines. Of course that would mean that somewhere there's, like, you know, all the actors saying those lines, probably.
I never looked up who that guy was. Keep talking.
Yeah, because we were talking about how crazy the cast is, because the main actress is Elle Fanning. Let's have people's names.
Oh, here you go.
The guy playing... Also, I knew Maddie Ziegler was going to be in it.
She plays Camille.
She plays Camille.
Who does Mel Brooks play? Is that correct?
Carly Rae Jepsen is Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon is the mom! Is Camille's mom! That's awesome!
Hilarious.
And Carly Rae Jepsen is Odette, who plays Felicie's mother figure. And Danny DeHaan, who is Harry Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, is Victor.
Who was the guy that... I was like, his voice sounds familiar.
Louis Morant.
Louis Morant. I just see director of opera, which might be him.
That's the guy we said was in love with Louis Morant.
Oh!
The big guy who's taller than doors.
That's right. And he's very square.
Because original, like, when you're introduced to the opera world, it's like, there's this big beefy guy, and then, like, this, like, spindly proper guy. And we were like, these two have real chemistry. And, like, they were, like, kind of, like, seeming, like, irritated with each other, and, like, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, they're in love. They could be in love. Of course, Louis Morin ends up with someone else, but...
He ends up with Odette.
Yeah, Odette, who is the mother figure.
Yes.
And it's like, she...
The whole time, I was like, these are her parents.
Yeah,
these
Felicity
two
got a new set of parents.
Are her parents.
Yeah, because we thought that there was going to be a twist of like, ooh, one of these ballet people is her mom, and that's why she's so good at ballet. And I'm grateful they didn't do that because...
He's been in, like, nothing.
Oh. I'm grateful they didn't do that because that is overdone. And I'm glad that we were just like, okay, and now she gets new parents. Because that would have been too much.
He's been in the spooky pumpkin short. Do you know what I'm talking about? Spookily the pumpkin, the square pumpkin.
We're talking about Terrence Scammell.
Who's been in Spookily the square pumpkin?
What the? For reference, for the viewers at home.
Are you placing a box?
Yeah,
for me to put stuff
you're
in?
gonna have to put something there.
You're giving me work.
Yeah, well, people need to know what we're talking about.
They're gonna know what Spookily the square pumpkin is. I promise.
We're professionals here. And then, of course, Black Swan also has a crazy cast. Because you have Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis, Winona Ryder, Thomas.
This is such a stupid episode.
What? Stupider than
Megamind versus Oppenheimer?
I was gonna say Titan versus the Atom Bomb.
Oh, what's our Titan versus the Atom Bomb of this one?
You're crying! You're full crying!
Because I have really dry eyes, so when we watch movies in the dark, my eyes hurt, and I have to go put drops in them afterwards. So
it's not because of the pumpkin?
No, I just put drops in my eyes, and now I'm laughing, so now I'm crying.
We have fun here. We have
fun here. What were we talking about?
Cast.
No, we were talking about Titan versus the Atom Bomb.
Oh yeah, we're very silly.
Who what's our Titan versus the Atom Bomb in this episode?
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
We're just getting started. We're just getting started, folks.
You were talking about cast.
Cast, yeah, because it's just interesting who they cast. Because like with Leap, I feel like they had Maddie Ziegler because they're like, we're gonna draw on the dance crowd with this one, and then with Black Swan, it was more an art film rather than. Hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
I need to stop myself from laughing. This episode is so dumb. This movie is so dumb. This movie is so bad.
Yeah.
It's just so generic. It's just like, well, I mean, it is both generic and both completely random. Like, for the most part, it's really generic. For the most part, if you picture, like, a movie about an artist or a sports person or some person who becomes famous, you'll know what they're talking about. Person starts down on their luck, they have a dream, they can't stop talking about the dream, and then they work, and
there's a training
montage, and then they achieve the dream, and everything is happy. There's a dance-off. Everything's happy, and
they meet their nemesis.
Like, it's mostly...
They
have a mentor. It's mostly that. And then every once in a while, you will just get, like... Victor in a chicken hat, or
the Statue of Liberty,
or getting pushed off the Statue of Liberty, or her mom going ah.
And like, what's crazy is they could have set this in any time period. Why just before the turn of the century? Because it's set like. When the Eiffel Tower is being made, it's said...
And the Statue of Liberty, which I don't think those were both at the same time. I don't know.
Maybe you don't know. And like, there were just, like, historical inaccuracies that, like, okay, whatever. Like, she's wearing sweatbands and, like, leg
Jean
warmers
shorts.
and jean shorts.
And there are tutus, which you said that they don't exist.
The pancake tutus, I don't think were at that time.
Mm-hmm. You would know more than I would.
Yeah.
Do a point right now.
Do a point. Put your feet.
Put your feet.
Can you put your feet? Which is the only thing you need to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean...
Which is what we learned from the movie.
Because there's literally a scene. There is a scene where, like, before the training montage, there's a scene where her mentor, Odette, the mother figure, is like, you need to jump up and touch this bell and then not splash the water when you land down. Classic setup, some kind of weird thing that you need to do in order to... It's the wax on, wax off, you know? And she completes this task, and she does it. And then the next day, she's like, great.
Yeah, the next day she is like, and I'm doing this so much better. And I was like... Where's the training montage? Where's the rest of it?
Because, where's the rest of it, literally? Like, to be fair, we only see her do jumps afterwards in that scene before the training montage. But, like, I would have liked to, like, oh, she can do jumps now, but she still fails at doing the positions or whatever other ballet thing. Yeah. But no, she's just magically great. And then they have another useless training montage. The movie's so bad.
Whereas Black Swan is great.
Black Swan's amazing.
Black Swan's so good. Because, like, yes, at the beginning, when we started the movie, and there's the first class where, like, they're all going to the class, they're all doing their thing, they're all exercising at the bar, and then Thomas comes in, and they all take off their warm-up gear, and then they're dancing, and he's talking about, like, we all know the story. The Black Swan, blah, 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 blah. And he, like, tells a story, and he's like, we're doing it again. But this time we're stripping it down, we're making it visceral, we're making it raw, we're making it real. And I'm like, are you hearing the words coming out of your mouth? Because you sound like a pretentious dickhead. Like, and like you said, like, yeah, it's stripping down the basics of Swan Lake. And
that's what the movie's about.
Which, yeah, I get that and I understand it. He just sounds like an asshole. No. And, like, that's his character, so, like, whatever.
Like, it could be doing two things. It could describe the movie very well, and also... show that he is an asshole.
But I wish they had talked more about, like, what's so different about this version of Swan Lake. Because they talk about... Because when she has the dream at the beginning, and then she wakes up, and she's like, yeah, like, like, it was different, and it was more like this guy's choreography than this guy's choreography, and it, like... And so I wish they had talked more about what makes this version of his ballet edgier for the viewers at home who don't know a lot about Swan Lake. I don't know a lot about Swan Lake.
I also thought, like... I said this while we were watching the movie. So she starts with this dream, and she says that she's dancing the prologue, the scene where the guy turns her into a bird.
And that tutu is so pretty. The tutu that she wears is like the human, and it's like long. Oh, it's so pretty.
It's great.
And she like sits down and it like loops around her.
But she says like this is the first scene, right? And then we get to the actual play, and they're like, "White Swan, you got to be on in 10 minutes." And she comes on, and they're already past the scene where the guy turns her into a bird.
Yeah. And it could just be that maybe there was like another person who played the human version of her, but
I don't know.
We don't know. We'll never know.
We will never know, because she died. Rip.
Yeah, we can't ask Thomas, unfortunately.
Well, we can't ask Thomas because he's alive. No problems with asking Thomas.
No problems with asking Thomas.
Single one.
Yeah.
I guess that is a difference between Leap and
Black Swan.
Thank you.
No.
This movie's making me go insane.
There's been a gas leak.
There's been a gas leak in our house. But at the end is the endings. Mm-hmm. So in Leap, it shows that this is a happy ending. She gets the part because she's more passionate about dancing, and she answers the question of why she loves to dance. And she dances with the person whom she really liked, the like inspiration, right? In Black Swan is intentionally a cautionary tale about the obsessive artist. It is basically her downfall of going insane while trying to split her personality and create this new personality that is at war with her original personality. And in the end, even though she completes the show and she completes her dream, or what's the thing he says while she's practicing the end of the ballet for the first time, where he's like, she's touched her dream and now it's gone. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what is happening to her. And the Black Swan kills the White Swan, and then when she changes out of the Black Swan costume back to the White Swan costume, she realizes that she stabbed herself, because they are one and the same, and she completes the show perfectly, but in doing so also causes her death.
Well, she doesn't finish it perfectly because she fell.
Also that.
She gets dropped.
She does get dropped, so she makes at least one very obvious mistake, but according to her, it was perfect.
Yeah, she died happy, so who are we to say?
She died happy. That was another thing also that I forgot, is that, like, her stab wound isn't really that deep, so if she chose to tell somebody, and go to the hospital, then she probably would have survived it. But that would have ruined the show. So she goes through with the end of the show and bleeds out on the stage, and it's a really cool effect. Yeah. And then she dies because she's the obsessive artist. But Leap is like, we support the obsessive artist.
Yeah. Well, and that is another difference, is that it's not a retelling. It's not a retelling of the Nutcracker, which is the main ballet in that show. But she does, I mean, kind of, because there's the dynamic between, like, Clara and the Sugar Plum Fairy. But it's not really explored. They don't really explore the ballet and the meaning behind the Nutcracker.
No, it's just a plot device.
It's just a plot device. It's a MacGuffin. It could have been literally any other ballet.
I think that's a really good example of the difference between a movie that is passable and fine and a great movie is one of them just uses things as a plot device. It's very surface level. It doesn't take the chance to explore any questions or explore any ideas behind these themes. Whereas a great movie is like, we're going to take the inspiration of Swan Lake and deconstruct it and bring up these ideas and these themes with it.
Whereas, Leap does not at all dig into why it's Nutcracker. I mean, I guess they could, in relation to, the Nutcracker is the only, like, well-known ballet that uses children. That, like, children are in as characters, and there's a child as the lead. So I feel like they could have gone into, like, and she's... You know, this is actually kind of good. She's Let me just
pat myself on the back real quick.
All right, I can make parallels happen. I can talk myself.
I'm a writer.
Because she could be Clara going into this, and, like, you know, Victor is the Nutcracker. He takes her to Paris, which is sort of the Sugar Plum Fairy's domain. It's the Candyland. And they could have framed it like that, of, like, this is the ballet, like, the beginning, there's...
Who would be the Rat King, then?
Who would be the Rat King?
Yeah.
It's
definitely that mom.
McKinnon, yeah. Because they could have started with, like, and it's Christmas, and the orphans are sad because they don't celebrate Christmas.
The orphans are sad.
Yeah, because they don't celebrate Christmas. And so then go, and also, why would they debut the Nutcracker on Christmas Eve and not give it several shows and have the season throughout December? Whatever. That is one of the many problems that I have.
Excuse me, Renee. Are you critiquing the realism of a Leap? How dare you?
How dare I?
How
dare I not just let Leap be Leap?
This movie
I just gotta let it leap.
This movie is perfect. There is not a single flaw.
You can't even get through that.
No, I'm literally crying again.
I can see. They leap to a lot of conclusions in this movie. They make us leap. Yeah.
They make us leap. They make us leap. That's why it's called Leap.
That should be the tagline.
They make us leap.
They make us leap. In parentheses, 2 conclusions.
They make us leap. That's why the movie's called Leap, except for it's also not called Leap. It's called Ballerina.
Yeah, but then Camille could be a little rat. The Sugar Plum could be more of a character and could be the one who actually trains her. I'm telling you guys, like, there's something there to using the Nutcracker as a framing device, but this movie is not at all with it. And, like, I feel like, having Victor like machinery, he could be a direct parallel to the Nutcracker, and they just don't use it.
They never have him build a Nutcracker.
Never have him build a Nutcracker. Lost potential, guys.
Build a Nutcracker, Victor.
Like,
do it. Stop being annoying.
Yeah, like, they need a prop. Hey, I know someone who can make us a prop.
Yeah.
It's not at all used.
Yeah.
And he, like, the only thing he does is he only fixes that damn music box.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing that Black Swan and Leap have in common. They both have music boxes that are connected to their mothers and that get broken.
And then get broken.
Yep.
But I think Nina would hope that she was an orphan.
What?
I like Nina, like with her like, you know, narcissistic mom.
I literally didn't hear what you said at all. I was like,
Nina,
who hopes they're an orphan?
Nina would hope she's an orphan.
Yeah, with those paintings.
Those...
If you see the one that moves, not before they're all moving, the scene before where she looks at the paintings.
I have never seen it the first time on a watch, and I have watched this movie 3 times this year. I've watched Black Swan 3 times this year, and I've seen it because we rewinded it and looked at it. But every single time I watched the movie, I have not seen it watching it naturally. Which maybe that's the fact that I have bad eyes.
For the people out there, go home.
Go home.
If you're not,
it's done. It's over.
If you're not already home, go home. Put on Black Swan.
Don't watch Black Swan wherever you're at. You have to do it at home.
You have to do it at home. Go home, put on Black Swan, and then wait for the scene, or just find the scene, where she's looking at all of the paintings that the mom paints of herself. They're all of the daughter. And look for, it's like kind of like a greenish one. It's like down on the bottom corner. It's like the last one she looks at. Look right at it, because it is a painting where she's like looking off to the side, and then it moves to look at her, and it's the creepiest thing.
It's really scary.
It's really freaky. I'm so horrified by it.
And the horror in Black Swan is just phenomenally.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. And I love the parallels of every single time where like it's Lily's like back or it's Lily's silhouette, and then she like comes into light and you see that it's not Nina.
It's so great. They picked perfect actresses too, also, because if you like look at the back of their heads, they look exactly the same.
They have exactly the same hair color.
Yeah.
Props to the makeup team, makeup and hair teams for doing their hair exactly the same. It's so good.
It's really good.
Yeah. And I feel like Lily and Nina have the same sort of rapport where like you can't really, as Felicia and Camille, where you can't really figure out like, are they friends or not? Because for the most part, Lily is friendly with Nina, except for not that last scene, but like the scene towards the end where she was like, she's supposed to be sick.
Yeah, and it seems like she really does want to take Nina's part. And then she shows up again afterwards and is like, you did such a good job.
Yeah. Which I don't think Lily's a bad person. I think that she does have good intentions and she does like Nina. I think it was more of a situation of like, I was preparing for this, like this is a change way too close to curtain, and like maybe she told her family that she was going on as the Swan Queen, so that's a problem for her. And like, you know, I can understand her frustrations, but it's still like a thing where you're like,
I do think that Lily is a bad person, and not because of her.
Oh, because
not because of her.
Sure. Lily's a bad person.
Not because of any of her trying to take the part, but because she puts drugs in Nina's alcohol, which like don't mix pills and alcohol, and don't put drugs in your friends' drinks without their knowledge or consent.
Yeah.
Maybe just don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
All of the kids who are listening to the Black Swan episode.
Black Swan Leap episode.
They're here for Leap. All the kids at home.
The kids are here for Leap.
All the kids these days are watching Leap. All they do is just watch Leap over and over again.
That's why the next generation is doomed.
Because they're just they spend all their time on their phones and their iPads watching Leap over and over again. They never stop. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
No. This is the episode where I've gone insane and I will never recover. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
God.
What were we talking about? Leap.
Heck if I know what we were talking about.
Yeah, drugs. So Lily is a bad person for doing that, but her, like, what's so weird is she, like, gaslit herself into thinking she had good intentions with, like, she was like, God, you really need to calm down.
Yeah.
You gotta cool it. And so, like, I think she did it having good intentions, but, like, if you have that ingrained in your brain of, like, your friend needs drugs, and so I'm helping them by, like, roofing them, then that is bad.
Don't roofie your friends,
Don't
kids.
roofie your friends. All the kids at home.
All the kids at home.
Or anywhere else you may be, kids.
Oh yeah, because you might be on your way home and listening to this episode on your way home. Shout out to all the people who are listening to this episode on their way home. I do the same thing. I don't listen to my own podcast, but I listen to podcasts on the way home. I mean, technically I do because I listen to it while I'm editing it.
That's so real. Yeah.
But that's about it. We're really funny, did you know?
Yeah, we're hilarious.
We're so funny.
Hey guys at home.
Did you know we're funny?
We're funny.
We're so funny. We're talking about Leap
and Black Swan. And we are comparing those two movies because
somehow.
Ballet.
Any other comparisons that you want to bring up?
Thomas is just a great villain. Thomas is a great villain.
Yes. You said Thomas the first time, and I thought you were talking about the guy who's who's basically the Thomas parallel, who's in charge of the girls with the auditions. The skinny guy.
Louis?
Yes.
Louis.
I thought you were talking about him, and I was like, he's not a villain.
In fact, he's on Felicity's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the good version of Thomas.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like if any, Thomas is very Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon, the mom character.
Oh! Yes.
they're the same, because that whole scene where, like, she was, like, quitting is for losers, or whatever she said.
Oh, yeah.
She
There's,
said,
like, a scene.
Up is for, yeah.
There's a scene where Camille is training, and by training, I mean she has this, like, ridiculous-looking weight machine that she's, like, lifting up with her legs over and over again, and she's like, Mom, I'm tired! And the mom is like, being tired is for losers! I don't know why I keep doing this.
Because that's what she looks like.
That is what she looks like. She also has, like, ridiculously skinny arms. Her arms are so tiny.
And her like, hands are, like, really small. And she, like, has these, like, massive gloves.
Yeah. Speaking of while we're on the topic, the animation quality. It's definitely something.
It's something. They definitely animated it.
They definitely animated it. They animated it for sure. The dancing looks fine.
The dancing is very smooth, but I feel like the ballet is not, like, they really make it contemporary ballet, because of course Felicie at the begindy just does, like,
she's quirky.
She's quirky. She does contemporary dances and, like, modern dance moves, and so of course she incorporates that, and then at the final sequence when she's dancing with the Sugar Plum Fairy, it looks very animated. Like, they're very cartoonish. They definitely didn't like motion capture it or anything. Yeah.
I think my biggest problem with the animation is not necessarily the animation itself, because it does look good. It's the character designs. Most of them are not great. Felicie looks like she's wearing a wig the entire time. Not that there's anything wrong with wearing wigs on the regular, but, like, I don't think that was the intention. I'm pretty certain.
Sorry, I'm only hearing wearing wigs on the regular.
I didn't know how else to phrase that.
But you love Maddie's design. Victor has a little friend named Maddie who wears a top hat and is just a little chubby little guy.
Oh, yeah, because we find Victor really annoying. And then his friend Maddie showed up, and he's also really annoying, but his design is so cute. He's got, like, these little round glasses and this cute little top hat, his cute little suit. He's so adorable. He's dressed like a man, but he is a child, so it just looks like a really short guy.
Yeah.
He's so silly and he's so fancy.
He's a guy. He's doing his best.
He's doing his best. What was I gonna say about the designs? I was gonna say something else. I also like Camille's design, I think, is pretty good. Especially at the end when she's out of her ballerina clothes and she's wearing her, like, nice fancy clothes. Her nice fancy clothes are so cute.
They're so cute.
They're so cute.
Like, she's wearing a little, like, green jacket and, like, a little vest and a long skirt. And it's just such a good outfit for her.
And
it fits her perfectly.
Felicie is wearing jean shorts and leggings. Everyone in France was wearing jean shorts and leggings back in the 1900s, obviously. Everyone, every historian knows this. You know this.
I know this. I'm an expert.
You're an expert. You're a ballerina.
I'm a ballerina.
Point.
I know everything.
Get on your feet. Point right now.
There. I'm pointing.
What a beautiful performance.
Thank you. Yeah.
Better than Leap.
Better than Leap.
You better leap. You better leap. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a terrible episode.
Leap.
This is really, don't listen to this one, guys. This is really bad. I know you're 36 minutes in. Don't listen to this one. Do you want to talk about Black Swan some more?
Sure.
It's really good. It's
really good.
Visually, it's amazing. Costumes are fantastic.
The cinematography is so well done.
It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous movie. It's a masterpiece. Movie. It's art.
Yeah, the costuming in Black Swan is also phenomenal. I know we shouted out all the costumes, but just like Nina's like evolution of like going from wearing pink and white, she has a very cute pink coat and a like white fluffy scarf, and then I love that scarf. Oh, that scarf is so cute. And then to the end where she's wearing like black and gray in rehearsals, and you even pointed out that the scene where she is doing her costume fitting, she's wearing a leotard that has a white top and a black, grayish black, like bodice.
I thought you were gonna point out the scene where she's in the bar with Lily. Lily gives her a black tank top, and then she goes and puts the black tank top over her white tank top.
It's so smart. That movie's it's such a smart movie.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And Leap is so bad.
Well, because Leap makes sort of like, you know, dance is her kind of character quirk. Her character hobbies, Felicie's character hobbies, dancing and cleaning.
Is cleaning a hobby or is that her job?
It's her job constantly, but then remember she talks to Odette and she's like, I love cleaning. Which, like, she's doing to get into the house, yes, I know. But also...
You knew exactly what I was going to say.
But also, when she loses her spark, that's what she does. But also, she's lost her spark. Yes. And then...
Can you stop reading my mind?
No.
No!
And then, in Black Swan, the dance is a symbol. You know, the dance is... It's not just her hobby. It's her, it's her want.
In Black Swan or Leap?
In Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
Well, in Leap it is also her want. But...
I feel like it's a little less specific, though, because, like, in Black Swan, she specifically wants to dance in the Black Swan, in the Swan Queen. Mm-hmm. She wants to be the Swan Queen. But in Leap, she just wants to be a dancer. And dancing in the Nutcracker is just a step on her way to being a dancer.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out more in Leap 2.
God, I hope not.
Leap 2, leap year. Leap 2, jump again. Leap 2, I'm out of titles.
Leaps.
Leaps. Leap 2, electric boogaloo. In this one, she learns to dance the electric boogaloo. I think we've lost our minds.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna spend the next 20 minutes coming up with Leap 2 titles.
Let's talk about the magical realism in both movies.
Yes.
Because in Leap, it's the only magical realism is like her dreams of the music box, and then also the fact that they're dancing to pop music.
They repeat the same dream of the music box like 3 or 4 times, and it's like the most basic thing. It's just the music box like falling through the black void, and then that's it. And then the last time they do it, we find out because it's her mom. Oh.
Yeah. And in Black Swan, of course, it's representative of like as well as the music of Swan Lake. It's her losing her mind.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. It's really spooky.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really well done body horror where she's like scratching or picking at her skin.
Mm-hmm. And then her like toes fused together.
Oh yeah, I was so worried in that scene that she was gonna grab a pair of scissors and cut them apart. No, that's exactly what I feel about that. And then there's like stuff with like mirrors, and there's a really good scene where she's dancing by herself, and her in the mirror is like a split second behind her. Mm-hmm. So spooky. I feel like
so scary.
This movie is what Don't Worry Darling wants to be.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have like Don't Worry Darling is like the same thing where they have all these really spooky motifs and it's like weird things going on, some of which also include mirrors. But they don't really lead anywhere or mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, spoilers for Don't Worry Darling, I guess. It's a bad movie, so, but like, the end of Don't Worry Darling is like, it was all a simulation the whole time, but most of the weird stuff doesn't really connect to it. Like, I guess I could get, like, the empty eggs, because it's a glitch, but what about, like, her being squished to the wall, or what was the thing with the plane, or, it's just weird stuff for the sake of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, in Black Swan, it's her actively losing her mind.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Mm-hmm. She's just hallucinating.
Yeah. And I like the use of the Swan Lake music as the score. I think that that's very clever. And, once again, refers to the stripped down. The Black Swan is like the sort of stripped down version of Swan Lake. Mm-hmm. It is the story. Whereas in Leap, all the pop songs, like, first of all, Why Use Confident by Demi Lovato. Like,
so funny. It's such a funny scene.
Such a funny scene.
Please go home. Google that scene, because it's really funny.
It is like, it is funny. And then they start jumping downstairs.
Yeah.
And pushing each other downstairs
as
well.
I was gonna say about Swan Lake, about the music in that also, with this being like, such a obvious retelling of Swan Lake, you can really see how the music in the original, like, shows these emotions and represent these things. It just makes the music makes the movie stronger, and the movie makes the music stronger. Yeah. They feed into each other. And then Leap is just like, we have a pop song because the pop song's popular.
Yeah. And then, of course, they have a Sia song because Maddie Ziegler's in it.
What's the song? Is the song at the beginning original? Because I didn't recognize that one.
I didn't recognize a lot of the music. It all just sounded like generic pop. Like, genuinely, I cannot... I know that one of the songs was Confident, because I know that song.
Yeah.
And
it also said in the subtitles.
Yes. And I know that one of them is Sia, because I recognized her voice, but I didn't even know the Sia song. All the music just sounded kind of generic.
Yeah.
And one of the Letterboxd reviews said, like, this is a movie where they're like, oh, it's a kid's movie, so it doesn't need to be good. And, like... No, like, you can, like, use this movie to get kids into ballet, into classical music. Like, you can... There are so many devices that you can use.
I hate this argument so much.
Yeah.
2 things. First of all,
you got it.
I got it. Kids deserve good art, too.
Yeah.
Even if something is made for kids, that doesn't mean that it... Like, sure, yeah, sometimes things are made for kids and they're just, like, there to teach them math. That's fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes there should be things where, kids are entertained and they're taught things and it touches them emotionally and kids deserve art too.
Yeah.
Second thing, there is a difference to me between media that is made for kids and media that is made for all ages. Leap is definitely something that is made for kids.
Yeah.
But I prefer things that are, like, made for all ages. Things that are, like, Avatar. Where it's like, kids can watch Avatar. It's a show that's made for kids, that's targeted at kids. But obviously, adults get a kick out of Avatar also, because it's my favorite show. And it's great, and it's amazing. It's a great show.
Yeah.
That's my arguments for that.
Yeah.
I hate that argument so much. That, it's for kids, so it's bad.
Yeah, because, like, the movie had it, like, you know, it had, like, a cute message of, like, follow your passion and follow your dreams.
It just felt like a first draft.
Yeah, ugh.
It just felt like if you took, like, all of the, like, tropes of this genre and then, like, smushed them together and then included the Statue of Liberty.
It just, to me, I just couldn't stop seeing Anastasia. From, like, it's the redhead and the brunette kid.
Maybe we should have compared this to Anastasia.
Maybe. Going to Paris and meeting on a bridge on the Eiffel Tower, and there's a music box, and, like, and then they go to the theater, they go to the ballet.
I don't know what I think. I'm out of thoughts.
Like, the movie just kind of felt, it just felt empty. It sort of felt like there were no symbols, there was no real, like, meat behind it.
Which is also so unfortunate considering that it is a movie that comes from another country. Like, we need more animated content from other countries, I think. But, like, it's really hard to get your footing when you make things like Leap or, like, I'm pretty sure the awful Pinocchio where he's like, Father! I think that's also made in Canada. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I know it's made in another country, but I think it's made in Canada. But, like, it's really hard to get your start when you're, like, going up against Disney, this, like, giant of animation that's, like, seen all around the world, and you're making things like Leap.
But Netflix has some pretty good animation as well. I really like the animation that Netflix is coming out with.
Netflix. I feel like
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio and The Wish Dragon.
Nimona. Netflix does better animation than they do live action. Like, a lot of their live action shows, not all of their live action, I still like some of their live action shows. It depends. Some of them are, like, really good, but then some of them are, because they're just, like, throwing spaghetti at the wall, some of them are, like, not as good, and then, like, their animation is just, like, always stellar. Their TV animation is always great. Their films are always great. It just hits. Netflix animation hits.
And now, Erin gets really off topic.
They collect anime like it's candy and then give it out to the masses, and it's great. They've got Dungeon Meshi right now, which is amazing. I know you don't know what that is.
I do not.
We should watch it. I think everyone in the house would like it.
Okay.
It's literally just a cooking anime where, like, they're like a D&D party who travels through a dungeon and then cooks and eats monsters.
Aww.
It's so great. And then
that is cute.
And they're all great. There's, like, one who really, I'm so off topic, but I just want to talk about Dungeon Meshi. There's one who is so meat coated and, like, is, like, uncomfortable by eating the monsters. She's like, I don't want to eat monsters. And then every time she eats the monsters, and she's like, this is amazing. And then there's the main guy who's just, like, obsessed with monsters just in general. Like, he knows everything about them. And then there's one guy with, like, a really big beard, and he's the one who cooks. He really likes cooking, and he, like, every time he's about to cook the monsters, it, like, suddenly becomes a cooking show. Like, he explains how to cook the monsters that don't exist. It's so great. I love it. And that's on Netflix. You're doing good stuff, Netflix. I still haven't found where this Pinocchio movie came from. Anyways, back to Black Swan Leap, it's a true story.
It's Pinocchio, a true story.
Pinocchio, a true story. Where was it made? Oh, it was Russia.
Russia.
It was not Canada, but I knew it was another country, so I was half right.
Yeah, and what's also interesting is that with animation, with Leap being animated, you can really curate the experience. You can really pick and choose every element that goes into. You have full control, but there's no meaning behind so many of the symbols that they chose.
It's crazy to me that you said that the actress in Black Swan used a stunt double for a lot of the ballet.
She did her research and she did a lot of stuff and learned a lot about ballet and trained her body to do a lot of it, but they did have a stunt double for some of the stuff. Yeah.
But it's crazy to me because I can't tell. I can't tell they use a stunt double. All of the ballet looks great. Her dancing is amazing. It's fantastic. But then in this other movie where it's animated, so you have complete entire control over the expressiveness and the acting and everything. And you can make the dancing look like whatever you want it to look like, and it's not as good. Again, it's not terrible. It looks fine.
Yeah.
It's the dancing scenes are probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
But like in comparison to Black Swan, there's no contest.
Yeah. Just because like, yes, a lot of it is kids dancing. First of all, Felicie wearing those boots, like the point-toed boots, and going on her toes, I'm like, you're gonna break your ankle.
Where are her point shoes? She's not wearing point shoes.
Literally. And then, of course, we talked about Odette giving Felicie her point shoes, and, like, those shoes are dead. Those shoes are so old, and, like...
Point shoes need to be replaced constantly.
Also, I feel like it would have been such, like... Clara doesn't always go on point during the ballet, whatever. Because we weren't sure how old Felicie was, and I think she was about 11, because that's about, you get your point shoes at about 10. And so, always in the point classes, they are just immediately in point. They're immediately going into point, and they're, like, warming up before
She's 11.
class.
Good job. Great guess.
Being right, thank you.
I love being right. I love being right.
And Felicia's had none of that prep. And it just, like, it feels... I wish they had done... First of all, if you're going to do the work of the time period to know who Louis Morant is, and you're not going to get the ballet, like, right as far as, like, her training her feet and her toes and her body, that's crazy. Like...
Can I ask, is he the only real guy? Is everyone else...
He's the only real guy that I know of.
Okay.
And so I'm assuming... Yeah. I'm assuming, like, I also have no clue why they chose that time period. Also, like... No, scratch that. I was going to say Anastasia takes place around the same time, but it doesn't. It takes place later.
This is not the right movie.
And I feel like having Victor in the whole inventor side plot, and they don't play at all around with sort of the theme of progress. And the theme of sort of ballet is a very precise study. It is very exact. It has a long history. And they don't at all explore the fact that Felicie doesn't want to just dance ballet. She wants to sort of explore dance in its many facets. And I feel like that could have been really interesting if she had...
Keep going.
Yeah, if she had, tried to incorporate other types of dance. Because that sort of was her strength in class, where she had so much energy. And, yes, that is beneficial to... That's beneficial to learning ballet, of having energy and being able to sustain your body. How's it going over there?
Things are happening. So I was gonna Google if Leap is based on a true story, And I couldn't.
It was not.
I wanted to see like how much of it was real. To answer that question, and I couldn't find the real movie Leap because there's other movies that are also called Leap. So I tried Ballerina. I don't think there's any other movies called Ballerina, but I was having trouble with that also until I found this article, completely unrelated, but it was called something like Leap and Ballerina are the same film, but their reviews tell a different story, and it's basically saying that Ballerina, it was originally released as Ballerina and was generally a well-reviewed film, earning 73% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. And then the Americanized version, Leap, completely flipped with negative reviews, a 29%. Or no. Yes, a 29%. And here's the crazy part, is that the person who Americanized it was Harvey Weinstein.
Wait, Mel Brooks?
Yeah. Wait.
What the? Who?
Reworked the film and recast its voices. It's what I said. Perhaps the one he got... Oh my god. This is what it is. This is what the subtitles are. The subtitles are the original version, Ballerina, and the audio comes from Leap, the recut version. That's why there's so many cut lines that add context.
That's crazy. That's so wild.
All cut by Harvey Weinstein. And recast with new voices.
Wait, look up who Mel Brooks plays.
I will find it.
Because maybe this is the answer you were looking for.
For what? Oh, he plays this guy. He plays the guy. We forgot to mention this.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the orphanage. He's like evil at first, and they like escape from the orphanage, and he's got these like cross eyes. And then when they come back to the orphanage later, he like sees that she's lost her spark, and he feels bad, so he helps her drive back to Paris. And then his eyes are like magically fixed.
And that speaks to the really big thing that people are talking about on the internet right now of sort of associating beauty with morality. Mm-hmm. Of like, this is what your skin looks like when you're unproblematic.
Is that a thing right now?
Yeah. People have been saying that on the internet for a long time about like Anne Hathaway of like, you don't age when you're unproblematic. And then now people are criticizing like phrasing like that just because, you know,
mm-hmm. Like, you do age.
You do age, and that's okay, and that's natural, and you
Sorry, everybody ages.
Everybody ages. Kids, everyone ages.
You will age. Everyone will age.
Yeah.
Leap will age.
Leap has aged.
Leap has aged.
Like milk.
Like milk.
Like milk.
Because it started as Ballerina and aged to Leap, and now it's aging even worse.
Black Swan ages like fine wine.
Black Swan.
It's so good.
Black Swan's amazing. Black Swan is literal art. Black Swan is a masterpiece.
Yeah. For a movie about women by men.
Oh, Black Swan is directed by men?
Black Swan is directed by the guy who directed The Whale. Mm-hmm.
This is news to me.
And I think it was written by 3 men. Or at least the original story was written by a man. And this also harks back to the history of ballet, of sort of the ensembles and the classes being mostly women, but the teachers and the like people who lead the company are usually men.
The choreographers, the musicians.
The composers, all the people in power.
Mm. I mean...
Thomas, Louis Morin.
And
I'm sorry if we're saying any of these French names wrong.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Sorry to French people and to Ellery, who will call us out on this. You know she will.
Yeah.
I had a question for you, and I don't remember what it is. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, you are ballet expert. I was wondering if we were watching Black Swan because he was like, we're doing Swan Lake, mm-hmm. which has been done to death. And in my head I was like, yeah, I feel like every ballet that's put on is a ballet that has like already existed for hundreds of years. Do people write new ballet?
Now?
Yeah.
Ballet is less popular now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think more dance shows are being written about other things.
Like other kinds of dance.
Like other kinds of dance. It's mostly like contemporary shows. Mm-hmm. I think there's actually a ballet about like based off of Virginia Woolf's work.
Oh.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
It's cool. By which I mean it's cool. It's just a like strange thing to sort of hear. And there are a lot of just reimaginings of old ballets, but because ballet is very focused on classics, and there are just a lot of ballets in history that
you can cycle through.
Yeah. But I'm sure that there are choreographers, but I think the money is mostly in other forms of dance. So they choose to do other forms of dance.
That's kind of what I thought the answer was going to be.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know.
Our resident...
People in the comments let us know.
People in the comments.
Yeah.
The people who will not exist.
The people who...
We have exactly
all the
one
comment.
comment. We have exactly one comment on our YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah. We have one guy who was like, good luck on your... This is the wrong account. Who was like, good luck on your YouTube journey. And I was like, that's
cute.
so nice.
Yeah.
Who said this? Who said this to us?
Shout out to this man.
Shout out to this man when I find him. I will find him. Oh, it was on the... I'm going to mute it so it doesn't play our own content. Shout out to the Pug King 4. Yeah, who said, I wish you luck on your YouTube journey. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. Thank you. The only guy who commented. We appreciate.
We appreciate you.
And we also appreciate the 20 people who viewed our first episode, which is, and the, I think 3 people who viewed our second episode. But that one's newer, so.
Yeah, love to the people.
Love to the people. We're for the people this episode.
We're for the people.
We are for the people.
Everyone wanted to hear us talk about Black Swan and Leap so much, so we decided.
We got a million comments saying, talk about Leap, please. Leap is the greatest movie ever.
Why have we not talked about Leap?
Leap is amazing. Leap is flawless. Leap is perfect.
Leap is something.
I hope that scares the people just as much as Black Swan did.
All the jump scares.
Look at my face.
Black Swan is scary.
Black Swan is scary.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about Black Swan or Leap?
Yeah. Well, mostly because we wanted to talk about sort of the magical realism and then the use of ballet to tell the story, and I think Black Swan did it appropriately because it was specifically a retelling of Swan Lake, and really went into the perfection and the obsession of art, which I think ballet is the perfect medium to do that with because it's so precise. And then Leap, she wanted to contemporary dance, and she got to study it, and I'm happy for Felicie.
Congrats, Felicie.
Shout out to you, girl, wherever you're at.
wherever you're at.
Yeah, probably in the ground somewhere, because she was born a century ago.
No. She's currently filming Leap 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, so I don't think that Leap should have been about ballet.
She's currently filming Leap 2, the Squeakquel.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She's partnering up with Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they're filming Leap 2, the Squeakquel.
Wow. That would be... Alvin and the Chipmunks doing the soundtrack for Leap 2. That, imagine Leap, but all the songs are sung by Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh,
because it just felt like Leap... the story was about passion. It had nothing to do with ballet, with inventing. I didn't know, because usually you choose 2 themes and then you, sort of interweave them. Mm-hmm. And, there was, there was, no deeper level to Leap. And just because you're kids' content does not mean that you could be lazy storytellers.
Yep.
That's just how we feel about it.
That's just how we feel about it.
Yeah, but we're just 2 little guys.
We're just 2 little guys.
Talking
about film. Very excited for Leap 2, the Squeakquel, to come out in the summer of 2025.
Yeah, Leap 2, the Squeakquel, Electric Boogaloo.
Squeakquel, Electric Boogaloo, Leaps.
Leaps 2.
Leaps 2, Leapier. Leaps 2. Leaps again.
Leap again.
Leaps to the leapiest year.
The leapiest year. You heard it here first, folks.
Leaps to the leapiest year.
Leap the gas leak.
The gas leak.
The gas leak,
Leap,
if you will.
Leap the gas leak. Aaron cries again. Yeah, I think our big takeaway from this episode is Black Swan is the worst movie I've ever seen, and Leap is a masterpiece.
Leap is a masterpiece,
Leap.
apparently, yeah. In the course of an hour, we have completely done 180.
Let's be honest, in the course of 2 minutes, we have
In the
completely
course of
180.
2 minutes, yeah.
Neither of us are wearing watches.
No watch.
No watches here! We ain't got no watches! Oh god, this episode's gonna be bad.
I think we made a point.
I think we made a point.
The point is that talking about art needs to have a point to say about art.
We certainly didn't. I think that like our normal episodes are like 60% analysis and like 40% bits, and this episode was like 60% bits, 40% analysis. I think that's the conclusion here.
But we're talking about Leap. I don't know what you guys want from us.
What do you want from us? A good analysis? It's Leap.
It's Leap.
A masterpiece, as we said.
Because I feel like when you're talking about Leap in comparison to Black Swan, like Black Swan there are so many layers. There is so much to talk about. Leap, it is as thin as a piece of paper. There is no substance to really talk about. I don't know how we've been talking about it for an hour. Just
because it's so stupid.
Because we've been doing bits. That's like the only reason we've been talking about it for so long. And I think that we talked about Leap more than we talked about Black Swan. Which is crazy. I think because we had a lot of criticisms about Leap, whereas Black Swan is a perfect masterpiece, and I don't know how.
Well, I mean, it wasn't perfect because she got dropped.
It was not perfect, unfortunately.
That's called a callback, guys.
That's called a callback. Yeah, and so I feel like in comparing something that's so deep with something that's so brittle, and something that there's so many holes in. You're not really looking at it. You're looking through it. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like because Leap had nothing to say, we have nothing to say.
We have nothing to say.
Yeah, except that go watch Black Swan.
Go watch Black Swan.
Go watch Black Swan.
If you're okay with body horror.
If you're okay with body horror, of course.
It's very, trigger warning, it's very scary.
Yeah. But it's very good.
And go Google that scene from Leap. Go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
First of all.
Go home.
Go home.
Watch Black Swan. Look for the painting that's moving and Google that scene from Leap where they play Confident.
Yeah.
You could probably find it on TikTok. I've got a couple clips from Leap on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because that happens sometimes, so. You can also follow us on TikTok, fun fact.
Yeah.
I just post clips there.
Find us.
We've posted nothing else on that TikTok except for clips.
Yeah.
What a use of that TikTok. I mean, it works.
There you go, yeah. Marketing. Okay, well, that's the ballet episode.
That's the ballet episode. The best episode ever.
The best episode ever.
The best. Leap is amazing!